Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sammy, and for those of you who don't know, if you're new here, well, welcome. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a story time, and we're going to talk about my worst date. You've already read the title, so you already know. I'm not gonna lie, this is something that I have completely forgot about. This was I want to say this was either my junior or senior year. This is how much I just don't even remember. And this was before I had ever dated anybody. So I've never dated anybody, and I was still trying to figure out the dating scene. I have another story of a worst date before I also started dating someone, so I'll probably make a video about that too. And the only reason that I'm remembering this now or bringing it up is because someone in my TikTok live stream basically asked what my worst date was. So let's get on with it. So like I said, this was my senior or junior year. I want to say it was my junior year from what I can remember. And I was like a goody two-shoes back then. I mean, I still am, but I just never really did much. I didn't go out that much, and you know, I kept to myself, and I had a very close group of friends like I do now. And so I was supposed to go on this date with somebody. I had met him through, I think it was a friend of mine. Yeah, so I met him through a friend of mine, and she was really good friends with him. I don't know. There's like a lot of people that you shouldn't date, and this definitely was not my worst date, but it's the one that really just... No, this probably was my worst. No. Okay, this was not my worst date. I think this was my worst, like, official date, because I've had other, like, bad altercations, but this one was definitely supposed to be a date, and it just didn't happen. Anyways, okay, so what had happened was I was supposed to meet him for a movie, right? We had been talking for, I think, like a week and a half or so. I had met him once, and that was, I think, probably a few months before we had actually started talking. And how we started talking was I added him on Snapchat, I think, or he added me. I really don't remember. But I remember we were talking about Snapchat. But I do remember we were talking on Snapchat. My Siri was going the entire time. Anyways, so we eventually just started texting, and we were talking, and he had asked me if I wanted to go to a movie, and I said, okay, sure. So I was driving to the movie, and he was driving to the movie, so we were driving separately. And I get there, and the movie is supposed to start in about 25 minutes or so, so I got there a little early because, that's just who I am. That's who I was. I was kind of a goody two-shoes back then. So I think about 15 minutes before the movie starts, I text him, and I'm like, hey, just wanted to let you know I've been here for a bit. I'm just sitting in the parking lot. Just wanted to know if you were here or on your way or running late. Something along those lines. I remember texting him that. And I hadn't gotten a text message for a while. I didn't receive anything. I didn't hear from him, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I call him, and I was like, hey, you know, what's up? And he was like, hi. And my first initial thought is, he doesn't really sound like himself. I was like, oh, so what's the plan? I thought we were supposed to meet at whatever time it was. And he was like, oh, right. And I hear music, I hear people in the background, I hear a lot of people talking, and everyone's just really loud. And then he comes out and he says, so I'm drunk. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a Friday or Saturday night, right? I'm a junior or a senior in high school, so is he, and he is partying with his friends when he knows he has to come, or at least should want to come, to this date for a movie. It's a movie. Like, you're just... What? So this guy is literally telling me, he's like, oh, I just got caught up with my friends, we were having a great time, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? You're not. No. And then he comes out and he starts saying, I mean, I can drive to the date if you really want me to. If you really want me to come and drive to the date. But I don't think it'd be a good idea if I drove. And I had to say, oh no. No, please don't drive. I would really not like for you to drive. And so I'm sitting there in this parking lot for a movie and it's about to start. I text my friend, my really good friend at the time. Shout out to her. Love her. She's still doing good. Spoke to her a couple months ago. And I text her and I'm like, hi. And I explained to her. I called her and I told her what was up. She drove to the movie theater to meet me. And we went in and we watched the movie. We watched A Dog's Purpose. It was really sad. I really loved the movie. Honestly, I'm so glad I did not see the movie with him because I feel like that really just kind of opened my eyes. And it was like, okay. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, oh, like, I'm sure he just, you know, completely forgot, or, you know, it was like a complete mistake. And I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. But why? Like, at the time, I was 16, 17 years old, you know, and, you know, looking back at the situation now, I completely laugh at it because how sad is it? How sad is it? I was gonna go watch A Dog's Purpose with this guy, right? And he decides to get drunk with his friends and not show up. So not only was I stood up, I watched the movie because I called my friend and asked if she would come and watch it with me. Actually, no, I called her and she was like, do you want me to come watch it with you? I didn't even ask because I was going to go in and watch it by myself. But no, she came and watched the movie with me. And I was like, okay, great. This is fantastic. And I was like, you know, there are some people who you should have in your life. And that boy, definitely not any of that. But yeah, no, you should definitely cherish your friends, because if they're gonna go watch a movie with you after you get stood up on a date, it's great. So, you know, after the movie, I texted him and was like, oh, by the way, Dog's Purpose was very sad, but it was very good. Sorry you missed out. Blocked him, removed him, took him off of everything, and yeah, no regrets, right? So, yeah. I mean, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story of this first date that was the worst date. Oh, wow, you can make that into a song. Here's to the story of the first date that was the worst date. Oh, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm ranting. Okay. All my social links are down below if you guys want to go check them out. I also have merch. You probably saw that at the beginning of this video. I have a merch trailer that is supposed to go up sometime soon. I made it all by myself, so it's probably awful. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. And expect next week's video to be about another guy, because after thinking about my worst date story, I'm also thinking about like a date that wasn't a date. You ever have one of those where it's a date but it's not a date and you don't ever want it to be a date because that's not what you wanted, that's what they wanted, and it's not supposed to be a date? Yeah, that's one of those. So that one's gonna be really long because it not only goes on for like a day, it goes on for like 3. So yeah. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is you guys want to do, and I'll see y'all later. Bye. Okay, who is texting me while I'm filming? Oh, okay, bye.